Well, good morning, everyone. We woke up this morning with a little snow here in Alabama. We had planned to get out here and work on the F100 a little bit. It's a little cool this morning, but anyway, we're planning on getting underway this week. It's January the 4th on a Monday. We got a frame inside. Get the lights on. You see, a little better. We'd ordered some new hangers. We had stuck them on the 2-inch drop from Wolf. We got them off the internet. We needed just a little bit more on the lowering on the frame after we turned our mounts over on the top, on the front side of it, and we ain't got them bolted back up yet, but we had to get our frame at the right height, and I'll show you right here on this side. I'll just bolt it over a little bit. Okay. You might see right there, you got 2 holes right here. That housing is supposed to be about right in the center of these holes. So with the reversing of the spring mounts on the front here, and with the 2-inch drop shackles on the back, is going to put us about right on the height of the Liter Grand Marquis front end. It's going to keep us about level. We ain't going to be running down hills. So anyway, I think we got it. We close being ready to get everything set up on this rear end and all. So hopefully I'll have some measurements on it, but I think it's somewhere around 20 something inches on the back side of the frame. We'll see here. We're sitting at 24.5 inches right now. So we're on a level surface. It looks like it's going to be pretty level. We get all this set up, and we fixing to start bolting everything in and trying to get our shackles. Get our perches on our rear end. We're going to try to get them welded up this week. If the weather permits first. Hopefully maybe that sun will come back out tomorrow. We'll have a lot better day. A little warmer, so won't have to bundle up so much. But we've had some pretty days. I think it was about 80 degrees here in Alabama on New Year's Day, and I was actually wearing shorts. And I said, man, I can't believe this. Got me a skateboard built, put my cab on. So I'm gonna try to get all that set up and all, or we can move it around. But anyway, we're looking pretty good right now with everything on the height, the leveling and all. So we're going to be getting close here before long to weld everything in and take it back apart and start doing some sandblasting. All right, y'all stay with us. We'll give you another update. I don't know if I'm going to do much today. It's about 35 degrees. Anyway, this warm weather's done ruined me, so. But anyway, y'all stay tuned. We'll fill you in on All our updates here in the next day or so. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. All right, we're back. What we're fixing to do is we're going to get this brace out right here because we're going to try to set our motor in. We got an old motor that come out of another Grand Marquis. We're going to use it to line our cross member up on the transmission. So, and right here is the old motor we got. We got it hanging here on our boom, and we just put a new set of motor mounts on it. So we're fixing to grind this out. This brace, because this brace is right in the way from it's hitting right at the fan. So we're going to leave the front one where the bumper bolts up. We're going to leave it on because we're going to have to take all this front end back out anyway. We need to keep that frame from moving. So, but anyway, we're fixing to grind the rest of this brace out. Just stick with us here. We'll be lining this old motor up in here. Alright, we're fixing to back the truck up and move the boom back a little bit. We ain't removed the old cross member yet. We still gonna have to take it out or move it. We got to move it to where we can either put us we're thinking about welding a plate on the back side because the cross member is actually, it just looks to be a little too tall to drill holes and mount it right there, but we're gonna look at that and see. So anyway, get sort of a better shot down here where you can actually see. There's a transmission mount sitting right up on top of it. See the two bolt studs, and the motor looks to be fairly level, but it may level up if we drilled and mounted it where it's at. So we're gonna look at that and see. And this motor right here, reason I used this motor, it's just an old motor. It was running when we took it out, but had a lot of miles on it. But reason I used this motor is because the donor that we're going to use the motor and transmission out of, it's a low mileage car, and we're going to put we use this motor. Thought about using the one that come out of the 03 that I took the front end off and under, but I don't know, I was sort of afraid something might be a little different on the transmission, so I said, well, I know this motor and transmission, if we line it up on it, it's gonna fit on ours. So anyway, that's the reason we're going with this one. But everything looking good so far on it. Our fan, if you'll notice there, I'll get us a shot from underneath it there. See the cross member, I mean the fan, it's got between it and the stabilizer bar, it's got about 2 inches clearance on the fan, so we're in good shape on that. So everything, oil pan looks like it's it looks like it's clearing real good. I don't think we're gonna have any problem with it. I think it's gonna be okay. I think some of our lines goes to the rack and pinion. We're gonna change them out because they're they got some bent places on them. We don't want to have no leaks, so I think we're gonna change them out and put some new lines on it. But anyway, I'm gonna get back here on the side just a little bit and look at the engine. Just from this position, it does look like the engine is setting downhill. So we're gonna mark that cross member, and we're gonna drill 2 holes and set it down all the way down, and then we're gonna look at it again. If it's not right, we're gonna pull that cross member out, and we're gonna do a little work on it. So, but anyway, it's looking all right now. So we're gonna get this lined up and get our drive shaft and everything set up for all of this, and that way we'll have everything fixed when we go back with our good engine. But anyway, hey, stay with us, and it's thawing out now. Some of the snow's melting away, but still pretty cool. But hopefully we'll have a better day tomorrow. So, but anyway, didn't get a whole lot done, but I've been sort of trying to get the rear end lined up, and but anyway, we got it close, and so now we want to get the motor lined up. I'll be back with you in a little bit, a little update on this. Appreciate you staying with us there. He's the boss today. All right, we'll get back up here in the shop for a little while here, and I'll show you what we took. We just got this cross member here laying in here, hold that drive shaft up. We took this Grand Marquis cross member, and we've shortened it. We ain't got it mounted or nothing, but we shortened it down, and we're gonna have to fix some plates on it to mount it. And but we got it pretty much sitting on the, it's sitting on the mount. It ain't all the way down, and the motor's about where we want it. And then we checked it out. We put the drive shaft. We had an older drive shaft here. It come out of another Grand Marquis. We bolted it up right here, and we got the yoke out of the front. We stuck it in a transmission just to keep from losing any fluid when we pull it out of the car. But I think we're going to be able to connect it up, and we're not even going to have to do no modification on our drive shaft. I think the drive shaft from the Grand Marquis is going to work. We'll try it tomorrow. We'll give you some more video on it. But our purchase, we're just about ready to scoot this board back right here. We're just about ready to loosen up the U-bolts and set our angle, because our angle on the drive shaft, it's a little bit off. It's going to have to go down just a tad, not much, but I think probably it's 4 or 5 degrees too high. So we're going to put we can eyeball it and get it close, but we'll check it with angle finder too. But anyway, I think we're gonna be. You can see just a little rise in that in the yoke on it. It should be straight into the drive shaft. So my boss has come back again, checking out here. What are you doing? You just hanging out with me today? Okay. All right. Want me to pay attention to him. But anyway, we didn't do much. We got up here. It's sort of been, the sun's come out today. It's warmed up considerably from what it has been, but we've been working outside. But anyway, hey, I love the cold weather. I'm a wintertime person. I'd rather do the wintertime as summer, because summertime's so bad here in Alabama that it gets tough to get out here working in the heat. So I can take the cold better. So, but anyway, we've got a pretty good bit done in the what short time we just fooled around here. But anyway, we're gonna try to fix some plates and mount this cross member so we can pull the engine back out. So we're getting close. Get everything. We're getting close to be able to take this all back apart on this frame and sandblast. So that's where we need to be. We need to get this thing cleaned up and painted and install it all back together, and in that way we can say the frame's done and we can start on the body parts. That's what we want to get started on. That's a little bit. So stay with us. We'll give you an update on it here tomorrow, probably, Lord's willing. Y'all have a good day. All right, good morning. This is January the 5th, 2022. We left you yesterday with a cross member. We tried to figure out a way to use the Grand Marquis that come out of the 2003. So we've cut it down like we want it, and I'm gonna give you some measurements on it here. What we've done to be able to use the original cross member. I tried to figure out a way to use the F100, but I believe the Grand Marquis is gonna be a better way to go. So what we done was, this thing is like a 1-inch offset on this cross member. It's 17 on one side and 16 on the other. So on the on one side here, I'll show you here. I'll zoom in on it just in a minute here, but we got it laid up right here. We actually show you what we done on these center lines. We used the center of the cross member. I got a scratch mark on it right here. The center of the cross member, where the transmission mount goes. We took on the driver's side. We cut it from center to the outer side. We cut it 17 inches, and on the passenger side, we done it 16. So the cross member sits to the right hand side an inch offset, because the rear end on the Grand Marquis rear end is an inch offset also. So to keep our drive shaft in line, we cut the cross member. So what we're planning on doing is I'll zoom in down here where we cut this thing. We notched out on this cross member right along in here. Well, I gotta do a little grinding, but this is a flat surface here. So what we're gonna do, we took a piece of 2-inch angle iron. Got a piece of 2-inch angle iron. We cut it 6 1/4 inches long, and we're gonna put it on like this, we're going to set it in and get it lined up, set the transmission down on it, and we're going to take and drill through the side of the frame. If you can see, let me turn this thing around here. It's going to be sitting like that right there. And we can adjust it. We can move it in or out where we need it at, and then we can weld it. We can weld it to the Grand Marquis cross member once we get our holes, once we get it centered up. Once we get our holes drilled through the side of the frame, and what we're going to do here, once we drill through the side of the frame, we're going to take this back out and we're going to drill and tap these holes here so our bolts will be coming through from the outside to mount this thing. And we're going to put 2 bolts in each side. So it seemed like the simplest way to do it. So we're going to give that a shot there and see. But that's where we at right now with it. So stay with us here, and we're going to try to set this cross member in. But let me get focused here wherever I can get it to get it set in here. We'll sort of show you how it's going to fit. Hopefully. Unless we have to trim a little bit more. We hadn't tested it. We don't know if it's going to fit or not. So. Get in here where we can see. I have to get us some light. This piece of angle is setting up against the frame, and it's setting flat. Cross member setting flat on it. The piece of angle is a 1/4 inch by 6 1/4. So we've got plenty of room to weld it good on the bottom side, and so we drill through the corners out here and tap it for a 3/8/16, I guess, tap. And but it looks like everything's going. It likes just a little bit being all the way down on the cross member, but by that thing setting down at the front side, it'll sort of tip it over if I put it all the way down. So I've got it close right there. So we're gonna get it all welded up, and we'll be back with you here just in a little bit, and we'll let you see how the finished product looks here. So, appreciate y'all staying with us. Alright, we're back for a little bit. We got our angles tacked on both sides. So we're fixing to weld this up. Alright, it's Friday morning. We're back again on the 76 F100. If you just joined us, we put the Crown Vic front end under it, or the Mercury Grand Marquis rather, same as a Crown Vic. We got it installed, and we got the we turned the spring hangers over. We've lowered it to try to get it leveled out with the front, and put the new hangers on the back to get our lower where the front. We dropped it about 4 inches when we put the Mercury Grand Marquis front end under it, so we had to come back and lower these, and we chose to just turn our hanger over. We just got it tacked right now. We're gonna weld it into place once we check our bed and make sure everything's clear and good, and our height is right and everything. So we had to take the we put new spring perches on right here. We had to pull the rear end back out and weld up the perches. We just tacked them on, so we got all that right, and we're fixing to put this rear end housing all back up in under it, and we're going to get some video today on the hangers for the shocks. We've got a set of these hangers here that come off of the rear end when we was cleaning it up. We got to reposition them. We're going to shorten them down some, and we're going to mount them to our housing. And we went ahead and removed the shock mounts. It was mounted right in here. We had 3 rivets in them. This is the left side. So you can see the rivets are still in. We ground them down and got them off, and we're fixing to move them. We're going to move them back about 2 inches, somewhere there about. We're going to relocate them on the inside the frame. Let's see if you can see here. We're going right where my hand's at. We're going to move them and relocate them back about 2 inches from where it was originally. And then once we mount these hangers on the housing, they're going to be sitting somewhere. Of course, now I've got to completely rework these. They're going to weld on somewhere. I think I've got to remove this bracket. When I've got the housing out, I'm going to take this bracket out. We're going to shorten these down about 2 inches, and then get our radius on our housing. It's 3 inches. So what we're going to do, we're going to get that once we shorten these down, cut them down, we're going to do this radius back on it where they'll fit on that 3-inch housing. Get them in place, we're going to weld them back in. So we're going to be working on that today, and we got our Liter Grand Marquis crossmember. We've got it already modified and mounted. So if you're just joining us and watching the video, over in the corner, these is the ends we cut off, and we shortened it down. In our video day before yesterday, on the right hand side we shortened it down 16 inches, and on the left side 17. That was center of the mount. So we wound up, we was actually intending to mount this into the side, but we couldn't do that because of the clearance of getting it out. If you needed to change transmissions, you needed to take this cross member out. So I needed enough of clearance to be able to turn it around and get it out of the frame. So what we had to do, we had to go back and we cut 1 inch more off of it, a half on each side. We shortened it down. We put these quarter by 2 angle iron on it and welded it up across, and then what we done, if you can see, we drilled our holes straight down, and we put 2 3/8 I think it's grade 8 bolts in there, and we bolted it down. And anyway, we got both sides mounted, but it's pretty much finished, all except cleaning up on it. But we're gonna have to, once we get it all together here. Hopefully we're in the last few days of modifying the frame and all. Then we're gonna take it back apart, our house and our front end off and under it. We're gonna pull the Liter Grand Marquis front end back out. We're gonna take my daddy's old motor we took out of his car back out of it. We used it to line everything up to get our distance on our cross member and to get our angle on the motor and everything like it's supposed to be. And the motor we're going to put in it is just like this motor. It's a 4.6. It's in a 97 Grand Marquis. But this old motor here had 300 and right at 330,000, I guess, on it when we pulled it out. It was still running, but transmission was giving some trouble, so we had another Grand Marquis we had bought. We put the motor and all in my daddy's old car. And so this old motor here was just something we had for a spare to use parts off of as we needed them. And so I guess got to thinking, I said, well, let's just go ahead and set it up here and line it up. And then that way, once we do set our motor in, we'll have everything ready to go. We'd put some new, I don't know if we can get a shot on them or not there. We put some new mounts on it. We're going to pull them back off and put them on our other engine. We bought some new mounts for the Liter Grand Marquis 03 so it fit our front end and all. But we got to go back and redo the front end. But that'll be on down the road a little bit further. But we're going to try to get this frame painted and get on something else. But we'll be getting some more. We'll get some more footage on the frame so that y'all can sort of figure out which way we're going with this thing. So, but anyway, and we'll show you. Might help you out a little bit if you're doing something like this. So. But anyway, got a lot of work to do, a lot of cleanup work. A lot to do before we get to the body. But good Lord's will, we'll get there. But anyway, stay with us. And we're going to get to doing a little bit of setting the rear end back up and under it and boat it up. I'll come back with you here in just in a little bit. Alright, we're back for a little bit. Show you about where we at right now. So we got our shocks, brackets. We got them tacked on the rear end. Got them set up. We ain't got them bolted all completely up. And this is our sway bar. This one right here is the one that come off the Grand Marquis. We got some brackets. It's gonna go right in here. And it's what it does. Let me move this back up. It keeps this thing from swaying back and forth. It was on the Grand Marquis. And you can notice right here, I had to cut them and shorten them 2 1/4 inches on each side to be able to get between the frame. The frame on the Grand Marquis was 41 3/8. And the frame on this one is 37 3/8. So we took 4 inches out and it was still a little tight, so we took another 1/4 out on each side. We got it in pretty good shape there. We just got to finish our welding. My old welder started giving me a little trouble, and I got to work on it and see what's going on with my wire feed. So, but anyway, we got everything. We got it all lined up, and we hadn't got, like I said, we got the brackets mounted, and the next time I'll give you what the degree was on the rear end. I've got the front end up right now. I can't actually tell you, but this thing got, you might see in there, the brackets. I got them tacked. I'm going to weld them. But I wanted to, before I did that, I wanted to make sure that, set my bed on and make sure that my shocks was going to be in the right position. So we've got it set up for the 2003 Grand Marquis shocks. So we order a new set of shocks for it. We'll just we got it set up already for it. So since the rear end and all the running gears and front end all Mercury Grand Marquis, we're gonna just keep the shocks too, and then these sway bars we're gonna try to incorporate these things in on the frame. Hopefully we can, and that'll help it. What that'll do, that'll help this thing from being sort of squirrely in the back. Well, if you hit a curve or something, you know, and this thing being a 76 model, you know, they didn't know anything about. Well, they was putting probably stabilizer bars and stuff on them, but on these trucks they didn't have anything. But anyway, we got all the cross members set up. Our drive shaft is going to work without cutting it, the one that come out of the Grand Marquis, so that's going to be great. So I'm fixing to pull this engine back out and put it back up there under cover. And anyway, we're going to shortly start taking this frame back apart and getting it ready to sandblast and paint. We got the perches all welded up. Once we got it set, everything will be good, since we done got them all nailed in. So, well, we appreciate everyone coming back to the channel and looking and watching and seeing what we've doing. And but it's a slow process, but it's coming back together, and hopefully we'll have this thing ready to put some paint on this frame, and then we can put it back together. We'll be done with it when we start on the bodies and the bed and stuff. So, but anyway, appreciate y'all staying with us. Thank you for watching. Y'all have a great day. Go ahead and get our motor tucked back out of the frame. We're just saving this old motor for parts. But really, it's got so many miles on it. We're just keeping it because it's been so good. And it was my daddy's old motor out of his car. All right, we'll be back with you here just in a little bit. Stay with us.
Hey folks, that's the end of this 6th part of Jay's Backwoods Shop, as the old Minuteman works hard to get this 1976 Ford F100 back in prime condition. Until next time, y'all have a blessed day.